All right, let's do this. Say good morning to our virtual learners.
Yes, I just couldn't remember one of the kiddos.
Thank you for being patient with me. I needed to get a couple things ready. Then I forgot my mask, so I wanted to get that too. We should not have this many people in this row. Max, you need to be back on the horse. Okay. Valeria, you need to move back a little bit so that your Max has his space. We should have 4 in a row. Hunter, you need to be at the end. Okay, there you go. We're getting better, especially since we don't have tape spots. So thank you for that. Okay, I printed out something for our sticker chart, but I'm waiting for it up in the office, so I don't have that. So it's on my list of things to do, but we're gonna put that to the end of circle time and do our sticker then, okay? Which means next thing we have to do is our calendar. Whose is this?
Not mine.
I didn't ask who it isn't, I asked who it is. This needs to go on my desk, it can't go on my chair. Can you go put it on my desk? Or actually, no, this needs to go in your mailbox, it's done. Okay? Okay, moving on. Moving our day to today. Okay. What is, it is my turn to talk to you, so I need your voice off. Okay, I will run circle time and you can make sure you're being a really good listener. All right, so we've got a red ladybug. Raise your hand if you know what comes after a red ladybug. If you don't know, you can find a red ladybug in our pattern and you can look. You can find a red ladybug and then you can look after it. You can find a red ladybug, you can look. Okay? Tristan, what's going to come after our red ladybug?
Yellow.
We've got a yellow ladybug. Yep. Good job. This is my friend Savannah. We did our fire drill already. We had that, so we're going to stick that to the back. Okay. And we're going to put our yellow one in there.
And now we're going to
All right. TH says, no, TH says the day of the week is Thursday. Good job. April.
29th.
Good job. 29th.
I said it.
Okay.
I said it.
29th. Nice
I
work.
said it.
We've got Scarlett's birthday tomorrow. So we are celebrating it today because it is a no school day tomorrow. Okay? So we're celebrating Scarlett's birthday today. She brought in a snack for us. Okay? Then what? Then what?
Nothing.
Today, for Free Choice, was your last time playing in some of these centers. We'll have new centers out next month, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Did anybody take a look at the caterpillars today?
Yeah.
Do we have any butterflies yet?
No.
Nope. So we're gonna add another chrysalis. Okay? Because we're counting how many days they stay in their chrysalis before they come out. Do you remember how many days the book said?
14.
14 days. So we're gonna count and see how many ours take in their chrysalis. So we're gonna, every day they're in their chrysalis, we're gonna mark it on our calendar. Okay? So we've got another chrysalis here. Put that there. How many days have they been in their chrysalis?
4 days.
4 days. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. They've been in their chrysalis for 4 days. We gotta fix our yesterday and today. Okay? Yesterday we did our handwriting book. Today, nope, we've learned 2 phonics dance letters already, so we are not gonna do a new one. Today, Miss Chris is doing for our in-person, we're doing some planting today, okay? So I'm gonna put some seeds up here. Friends at home, you guys are doing something a little different today, all right? But in person, this is what we're working on today. We're doing something with seeds today, okay? Exciting, exciting. I wanted to talk to you because normally on Thursdays, we have share day, right? And you have to share something that starts with our letter of the week normally, right? So because we're done with our letters and we aren't doing letter of the week anymore, we're kind of talking about all the letters. Now we're going to kind of talk and review all the letters we've learned. So starting next week, I will let you bring in whatever share item you want to share. If there's something special at home you would like to share from home, it doesn't have to start with a certain letter, but here's my rule. You have to know what letter it starts with, which means whatever you pick, you need to talk to your adult helper at home, your mom, your dad, your grandma, your aunt, whoever's at home with you, and you have to decide together what letter it starts with. You have to know that. If it gets to be share time and you go out and get it and Miss Chris says, what letter does it start with, and you don't know, are you going to be able to bring it in? No. If you aren't able to bring in that special toy that you've been wanting to bring in, how are you going to feel?
Sad.
You're going to feel sad. But what was my rule?
Know the letter it starts with.
Yep, you have to know what letter it starts with, okay? Miss Nikki will send home stuff so that moms and dads know that you need to know. You can always write it down. Writing it down gives you a sticker. So I actually would encourage you, I would actually say to you, please write it down. Bring it in and write it down, because that will help you know what letter it starts with. You can look right at it, okay? If you want to bring that robot in that's super cool to share and you haven't been able to bring it in, write your word down and bring it in. If you want to bring in that super special necklace that you got from mom for a special present, bring it in. Write your word down. Okay?
Or teddy bear.
Or teddy bear. But if you don't know what letter it starts with, you can't bring it in. So please make sure that you do your part at home, so you're not sad when you get back to school. Virtual friends, same thing. You guys can send in a picture of something that you want to share with any letter. You just need to know, you guys are pretty good because moms or dads kind of type that for you, but you need to also be able to tell mom or dad or talk about that with them, what letter your item starts with, so we can share it. Then we'll have all these words up on the board that start with different letters, and we get to talk about all the letters we've learned. Okay? So this is exciting, but you have a job to do. You have to know what letter it starts with. Starting next week, that's what we're going to do for share time. Okay? Okay. We have a book. Last week or yesterday we read, what did we read yesterday?
The mad ladybug.
Kind of, not mad.
Lazy ladybug.
Grouchy. A grouchy ladybug. He was grouchy, he was crabby. He was not happy, right?
And he wanted to fight.
This time we're going to read A House for Hermit Crab. This is also by Eric Carle.
I have that book too.
Okay. Here is a picture on the back, actually, of Eric Carle and his son. So that is Eric Carle right there. He's the one who did all these books and the pictures. Ooh, look at that page.
Oh.
It looks like maybe he used something sharp in the paints, like maybe a nail or like maybe the back of a pen or something like that to really get a thin line.
Oh, that's good.
Maybe.
Or a knife.
Time to move, said Hermit Crab one day in January. I've grown too big for this little shell. He had felt safe and snug in his shell, but now it was too snug. Hermit Crab stepped out of the shell and onto the floor of the ocean. But it was frightening out in the open sea without a shell to hide in. What if a big fish comes along and attacks me? He thought, I must find a new home soon. Early in February, Hermit Crab found just the house he was looking for. It was a big shell and strong. He moved right in, wiggling and waggling about inside it to see how it felt. It felt just right. But it looked so, well, plain, thought Hermit Crab. So when hermit crabs get bigger, they have to move shells. Did you know that? They have to come out of the shell they're in, and then they have to find a bigger shell to move into so their bodies don't get stuck in there. In March, Hermit Crab met some sea anemones. They swayed gently back and forth in the water. How beautiful you are, said Hermit Crab. Would one of you be willing to come and live on my house? It is so plain, it needs you. I'll come, whispered a small sea anemone. Gently, Hermit Crab picked it up with its claw and put it on its shell. How do you think he made that?
Finger paint.
He did, but how do you think he made those colored splots?
Paintbrush.
Ooh, maybe he was like flicking the paint on there.
Or a makeup brush like do this.
Like a makeup brush, and he was going like this and flicking it on. Or like a toothbrush. Sometimes if you put paint on a toothbrush and then you flick it, it'll kind of make those spots too.
Or maybe he can flick it with his fingers.
Maybe he was like got some on paint on his fingers and went like that.
Or nails.
In April, ooh, it's April right now. In April, Hermit Crab passed a flock of starfish, moving slowly along the seafloor. How handsome you are, said Hermit Crab. Would one of you be willing to decorate my house? I would, signaled a little sea star. Carefully, Hermit Crab picked it up with his claw and put it on his house. If it's April now, what's going to come next?
June.
January, February, March, April,
May.
In May, Hermit Crab discovered some coral. They were hard and didn't move. How pretty you are, said Hermit Crab. Would one of you be willing to help make my house more beautiful? I would, creaked a crusty coral. Gingerly, meaning very gently, Hermit Crab picked it up with his claw and placed it on his shell.
It could be bigger and bigger.
I don't think it's getting bigger, I think it's just getting decorated. It's getting more stuff on it. The shell's not growing, but there's more stuff on the shell. In June, Hermit Crab came to a group of snails crawling over a rock on the ocean floor. They grazed as they went, picked up algae and bits of debris, and leaving a neat path behind them. How tidy and hard-working you are, said Hermit Crab. Would one of you be willing to come and help clean my house? I would, offered one of the snails. Happily, Hermit Crab picked it up with his claw and placed it on his shell. In July, Hermit Crab came upon several sea urchins. They had sharp, prickly needles. How fierce you look, said Hermit Crab. Would one of you be willing to protect my house? I would, answered a spiky sea urchin. Gratefully, Hermit Crab picked it up with his claw and placed it near his shell.
It's gonna be pointy.
They are pointy. In August, Hermit crab and his friends wandered into a forest of seaweed. It's so dark here, thought Hermit crab. How dim it is, murmured the sea anemone. How gloomy it is, whispered the sea starfish. How murky it is, complained the coral. I can't see, said the snail. It's like nighttime, cried the sea urchin. In September, Hermit crab spotted a school of lanternfish darting through the dark water. How bright you are, said Hermit crab. Would one of you be willing to light up our house? I would, replied one lanternfish, and it swam over near the shell. Now it's got a little light.
Yeah.
In October, Hermit crab approached a pile of smooth pebbles. How sturdy you are, said the hermit crab. Would you mind if I rearranged you? Not at all, answered the pebbles. Hermit crab picked them up one by one with his claw and built a wall around his shell. Now my house is perfect, cheered Hermit crab. But in November, Hermit crab felt that his shell seemed a bit too small. Little by little over the year, Hermit crab had grown. Soon he would have to find another, bigger home. But he had come to love his friends, the sea anemone, the starfish, the coral, the sea urchin, the snail, the lanternfish, and even the smooth pebbles. They have been so good to me, thought Hermit crab. They are like family. How can I ever leave them? He's got to find a bigger shell.
Oh, man.
In December, a smaller hermit crab passed by. I've outgrown my shell, she said. Would you know of a place for me? I've outgrown my house too, answered Hermit crab. I must move on. You're welcome to live here, but you must promise to be good to my friends. Oh, I promise, said the little crab.
Oh,
That's kind of a nice way that worked out.
yeah.
The following January, Hermit crab stepped out and the little crab moved in. Couldn't stay in that little shell forever, said Hermit crab as he waved goodbye. The ocean floor looked wider than he had remembered, but Hermit crab wasn't afraid. Soon he spied the perfect house, a big empty shell. It looked, well, a little plain. But sponges, he thought, barnacles, clownfish, sand dollars, electric eels. Oh, there are so many possibilities. I can't wait to get started. That is the end of our hermit crab story. He is excited to move into his new place because he knows that he can decorate it with a lot of other pretty cool things. All right, friends at home, we are going to take a snack break. When we come back, we'll do a little bit of singing and dancing, I think. Kind of get our wiggles out before we start our work time. All right? So, friends at home, grab a snack, come back, and see us in a little bit.
Bye.